Sorry, I let the time sneak up on me on that one. But yes, that we would be able to engage in interstate commerce. Congress regulates interstate commerce, and they usually try to keep trade free flowing between the states. That way, we can buy oranges from California, and California can buy oranges from Florida, and we can pretty much eat everyone's oranges but our own. No, we still eat our own oranges, but I always found it kind of silly that we're exporting oranges all over the place and then importing oranges also. So those are the 10 amendments and the articles, and every amendment thereafter was added according to the needs of the time. The 11th Amendment, I didn't list it here on my slide, but I'll tell you what that is. The 11th Amendment limits the power of the federal courts to the United States, so they can't make rulings all over the world. That means that we do not have to respect the rights of people outside of the U.S., such as when we're in foreign wars, for example. That's why if we want to, for example, waterboard people as a form of interrogation, we would do so in Guantanamo Bay in Cuba rather than on U.S. soil. Within U.S. soil, that would definitely be considered cruel and unusual punishment. Now, the 12th Amendment. This is the only part of the Constitution that even relates to political parties. I want you to note that there is nothing in the Constitution about political parties. But Amendment 12 was added kind of in the light of the reality that we're going to have parties. It was added shortly after Thomas Jefferson's election. He's our third president of the United States. Up until the 12th Amendment, the way electors in the Electoral College would vote for president is they would simply cast two votes for two people. Whichever person got the highest number of votes, that person would be president. Whoever got the second highest number of votes would be vice president. If no person had a majority, however, it would go to the House of Representatives, and every state would have one vote. Thomas Jefferson was the first president chosen by that method. And the reason is that every elector who voted for Thomas Jefferson also voted for Aaron Burr. And they were both running on the same party, the Democratic Republican Party, as it was called then. It's now the modern day Democratic Party. So that caused a tie, and the House of Representatives had to settle it, and they decided on Thomas Jefferson. To keep that from happening in the future, the 12th Amendment was added, and that says that every elector will cast one vote for president and a separate vote for vice president. So now an elector will vote either Obama and Biden, or they'll vote, say, Mitt Romney and whoever Romney chooses as his running mate. Or there's always that slim chance that Ron Paul could still pull it off, but it's not looking very good for him right now. So the electors vote separately for president and vice president, because if we didn't, we would have people in the same party running, and we'd end up with ties just like we did when Thomas Jefferson ran. We didn't add any more amendments until after the Civil War. After the Civil War, we added 3 amendments within a 5-year span, and they're all related to race relations. The 13th Amendment abolishes slavery. No more involuntary servitude, so slavery is unconstitutional. If anyone today practices slavery, they are in violation of the U.S. Constitution, and they can be tried in federal courts, and it does happen. It's a different kind of slavery. Now we're talking more about things where people are kidnapping from other countries, human trafficking, that sort of thing. The 14th Amendment was added shortly thereafter, and this was necessary mainly to give equality to African Americans. It guaranteed that everyone would have equal protection under the law, and everyone would have the right to testify in court, and everyone would have due process of law regardless of race, creed, or color. So specifically, that was meant for African Americans who before were not allowed to testify in court and were really not protected by the authorities. So the 15th Amendment I'm going to save for the next part.